Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me this week. So this week I'm going to be talking about how not to lose the art and craft of handwriting and how we can encourage our students to not lose that craft. I feel like with all of the typing and all of the screen time that we engage in, that we want to ensure that students don't lose the art and craft of handwriting. And I'm going to use some AI tools to help create some wonderful spaces for students to share their metacognitive thinking through reflection journals. So if you're interested in finding out how we can really encourage our students to not lose that art and craft of handwriting, then please keep on watching. Okay, so how can we encourage our students to not lose the art and craft of handwriting? I've gone on to Claude Opus 4, but you can actually use any large language model. And you can see that the prompt that I've given here is, can you give me 30 different metacognitive prompts that I could use in any classroom and give some space for students to write, as this will be copy and pasted onto another AI tool to create a student reflection journal. So it seems like a little bit of an oxymoron that I'm actually using an AI tool to encourage student handwriting, but you'll get the idea once you see where I'm going with this. So Claude Opus did some thinking and it's come up with 30 different metacognitive prompts, such as, what did I learn today that surprised me? Why was it surprising? That's a question I would definitely use with my students. What part of today's lesson was most challenging for me? How did I work through it? So this is great qualitative data that we can collect from students, and it can also inform students of their own progress and identifying those challenging parts of the lesson. I'm not going to read through all of them, but here is another one. What strategies did I use to understand new concepts today? Which ones worked best? Wonderful. If I had to teach someone else what I learned today, how would I explain it? I think these are pretty good. So I'm just going to scan all of them. I can always edit them a little bit later, but I think that this is really great qualitative feedback that we can collect from students learning. So let's just copy and paste that using the three dots. I'm going to copy the message. Now it's copied the thinking, but we can actually delete that a little bit later. I'm going to go to Gamma, which I've talked about before, and I've used Gamma to create an interactive presentation before, but I'm going to show you now how we can actually create a beautiful student reflection journal with these metacognitive prompts. So let me just paste this text that I had from Claude, and remember, I want to delete the thinking and the instructions from Claude. So let me just delete that, tidy that up. So this is what it looks like. And I'm going to press document up here. It's got default. I can be pageless, letter, or A4. I'm going to choose A4 because I want to be able to print this out, because remember, we want to encourage students to still write and not lose the art and craft of handwriting. And in all of my AI workshops, I actually still gift notebooks, traditional notebooks and pens, so that all educators can still take notes as we're going through some of the learning experiences in the workshop. So what do we have here? Generate from notes or outline, summarize long text or document, preserve the exact. So we want to preserve the exact, okay? And it says continue to the prompt editor. So I'm just going to press that, and then I'm going to move myself over down here so you can see. So here it says preserve the text content. This is the English. I've got some images if I want images. Let's just see the drop down menu so you can see the choices. Oh, I'm gonna have to move myself over here. So we can have AI images, and there are different models. We've got Flux Fast 1.1. We've got Imagen 3, Luma as well. So you can see quite a few models to choose from. I'm going to choose, let's see, Flux Pro. I'm going to choose Flux Pro. The format here I can still change is A4, okay? And then optional, describe the colors and the mood. And the image style, I like to use dark burgundy, because that is my brand color. And then let's have a look on this side. Card by card, editing cards. Pro tip, if you're using ChatGPT to create the outline, you can ask to add something between the section. Okay, so it says down here, when we go down to the bottom, we've got 60 cards. So we actually want to change that. Okay, you can see I've got far too many cards, and I think that was because I left spaces. So what I've done is I've just gone back to my Claude and said, like, remove all of the spaces. So let's just do that. Okay, so here I'm just going to copy and paste now the 30. So, I think it's important that you see not the polished result, but all the iterations that I have to go through as I'm trying to create this metacognitive reflection journal. And then let's go back to Gamma now. Okay, so we're going to press back, and then I'm going to copy and paste the text here, just the 30. And then delete the thinking again as well, so we don't need that. And then still go to document A4. We want to preserve the exact text, and then let's have a look. And I'll move myself over here. Let me make myself a little bit smaller so that you can see. All right, so now it's given me the 30 cards, which is probably, what I want. All right, so let's just continue, and we're going to generate this. I have to choose a theme. So I have a custom theme on my Gamma account, which has some of the colors that I like to use. So let's just do that. And then here we've got the title page, I think, which has got some nice explanations and instructions. Oh, let's use some of the photos that I have, that I've uploaded. Okay, and I think what it's got is it's explaining every single metacognitive prompt. Okay, so that's great. Okay, let's just give it a few minutes. It's already up to slide 9 out of 30. I mean, this is pretty phenomenal because all I've inputted is just the metacognitive question, and Gamma has actually really explained and elaborated on each of those metacognitive prompts. So what distracted me during class today? How can I minimize these distractions? Identifying specific distractions and developing targeted strategies. Wonderful. Okay, let's just go to the top while that's generating. So this is the reflective journal prompt, and it looks like that this is the title page. So first one, what did I learn today that surprised me? Why was it surprising? I can actually change, of course, any of these images that they've just been generated by Flux Pro I chose. And then it's got an explanation of this question. This question invites you to identify unexpected discoveries in your learning journey. Wow, it's even using the language that I would use. Recognizing cementing elements helps cement new knowledge and highlights gaps between your assumptions and reality. Surprise is a powerful emotion that can enhance memory retention and create stronger neural connections to see information. When we encounter information that challenges our existing mental models, we're more likely to remember it and integrate it into our understanding. And so here you can see some space here. So there's space on every single one. Wow, this is phenomenal. It's a nice little booklet, and you can see, let me see if it's finished generating. Yep, it's finished generating. It's on the last slide. Let's just jump here to the last page rather, because it was an A4 page. What resources or tools helped me learn best today? Why were they effective? And then digital resources, physical materials, human resources. Wow, so there's a lot of explanation. This provides, I think this would be a wonderful reflection journal for students. Now, let me just show you how you can download this as a PDF. So if we press the share button here, you can actually export it as a PDF, a PowerPoint, Google Slides, or even as a PNG. And remember, this is all editable, and we want to encourage students to handwrite. So we don't want to distribute this digitally, even though we could, but we just don't want students to lose that art and craft of handwriting. So once again, Gamma, thank you so much. It's so easy to create any kind of format visual based on very little prompts with Gamma. And I just want to stress, it's not really about what tool you use, but it's how you use it. So I've been thinking of ways to use Gamma because I decided to subscribe. So this video is not sponsored. And I thought, how can we actually use Gamma to really enhance learning, to still honor inquiry-based learning, conceptual understanding, and not losing the art and craft of handwriting. And this is one way to create beautiful reflection journals for students so that they can actually metacognitively reflect at the end of a lesson, or at the end of a series of lessons, or at the end of a unit of inquiry. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you found this useful. If you've got other uses of Gamma that you think really enhances learning for students, then please share it in the comment section below. I hope to see you next time.